What is an X-cross? An X-cross is basically when you have a cross, but with an F2L pair also inserted. So the X stands for extended cross. It's just when you go further into F2L than just the cross.
What? I thought this was an X cross.
So the point of an X-cross is that you solve the cross at the same time that you solve this F2L pair, as in you find an optimal solution to a cross plus F2L pair. And the reason this is good is because you don't have to do the cross and then do the F2L pair, which may take more moves. So this is essentially just like doing a cross, you're finding the optimal solution for it, but you are solving more pieces than you usually would. Now, the thing with an X-cross is you can't do it every single solve. Well, of course you can, it's just hard to do it every single solve. Normally, there will be specific signs you have to look out for in order to see whether or not you will be able to build an X-cross that solve. So let's start by looking at the first scramble here. So remember to scramble white top, green front, so we have the same scramble if you want to follow along. And so here I will show you some of the signs that you can make an X-cross. And in this case, we have quite an easy cross. You can just do the red and then do the blue. So the sign here is that we have a corner here attached to the edge and a corner here attached to the edge. And what that means is that you might be able to solve the cross while keeping one of the corners in place. And if you can keep one of the corners in place, then simply by solving its corresponding edge, you'll have an F2L pair done. So let me show you what I mean. We're going to insert red, then we're going to insert blue and red here like that. And let's just forget about that corner for now. This is a solved corner, and we looked for the solved edge, and it has happened to be already solved. So just by doing D2, we have made an X-cross. All right, here's the second scramble. All right, now the sign we have here is this square right there. And whenever you have a completed square, there's a possibility of making an X-cross. So essentially, this is an F2L edge, and then the corresponding corner edge pair in there. So what you can do here is obviously we have orange here and then blue here, and then that makes the full block there, and you just have to solve the other two cross pieces. However, we can do a better cross solution here. So we have red here and green here. So we can insert green down here, align green, and then do red and blue, and then go like that. So you just have to make sure that your cross solution does not break up that square, and you'll end up with an X cross. All right, this is scramble number 3. All right, so the sign here for an X-cross is this corner is attached to the edge and this corner is attached to the edge. So hopefully we will be able to preserve at least one of them. And now you want to look for the corresponding edge pieces. So here we have the blue and red, which goes with this one, and then the orange blue goes with that one. So the orange blue is already solved, so that's actually a very good one. That means that once we solve this like that, then we can already make an X-cross as long as we don't move this edge out of place. And since green is ready to go, we can just work with red here and then insert green. And we have an X-cross. However, before we insert green, once we have inserted red, you can actually insert the corresponding edge to this corner that is in the solved spot. So you can insert that edge in here like this and then insert green. And here we actually have a double X-cross. So we've solved 2 pairs while doing the cross. So that was a lot at once, but let's look at that again. So we can insert this here, over here, like that, and then that makes a solved corner, and we have the solved edge here. So we want to move red to this spot over here, and we notice that this will also have a solved corner. So we have one corner edge pair already done, which is this one, and then we will solve this edge over here because the corner is already solved, and that makes a second corner edge pair. And then insert the last piece, and just for fun, let's finish this entire solve. Wow, this is a great solve. And then EPLL. And here's scramble number 4, the last scramble we will be looking at. All right, so here we have blue can go in here, and orange, the corner is solved relative to this, and here we have another solved pair. However, the edge is in here, which is not a very good spot, so we may not be doing this one. And this is one that we could do for an X-cross. So we find the corresponding edge, here it is. So what we want the edge to do is come over here once we solve the cross. So this orange needs to go into here, blue needs to go into here, and red needs to go into the back here. So we don't want to solve red first because that will break the corner edge pair here. So instead what we are going to do here is insert blue, which puts the edge over here. And then when we solve orange into this spot relative to blue and green, then it will move the edge over to the correct spot. Then we will solve red at the end. So we can align the cross and then solve red, and that makes an X-cross. Now here, just because I couldn't find a scramble to go with this, I want to show one more idea, which is when you have an edge already solved, and while you solve the cross, you want to preserve that edge and then insert the corner somewhere during the cross. So here, the corresponding corner is over here. Solve blue first of all, like that. Then when we solve green, we can insert green, but before finishing off the cross, we want to insert this corner into here so that since the edge is already solved, we will have a completed first pair. So we can insert the corner in there like this. And then once we align the cross, we have an X cross. So let's take a look at some of the key factors that make finding an X cross easier. So first of all, we have when a solved corner is attached to the edge, and then you can just insert the edge afterwards, or when there's a solved edge and you can just insert the corner, or when you find an entire 2x2 square, then you can preserve that, and once you solve it, you will have an X cross. Now, hopefully these are things you'll be able to look out for in your solves and you can practice your X cross. Of course, X cross will not be easy at first because just like doing a cross, if you add more moves to your solution, it makes it harder to do it without thinking about it. Of course, with practice, that will become a lot easier and you'll have a very useful tool that you can use in some of your solves. You should not expect to find an X cross solution in every single solve, but you should be able to use it on some of your solves that will make your solves a lot better when you can find it. And one last thing I want to say, if you thought this video was a little bit too advanced for you, of course I do have a video on just solving the cross instead. You can improve your efficiency for the cross and always solve it in 8 moves or less. I have a video on that I will put somewhere over here that you can click on. And as always, thanks for watching and I will see you next time.